If you want to be understood by natives, and if you don't want to make a fool of yourself when you speak to Russians, listen to these 10 phrases where the English logic doesn't translate into Russian, and you have to rethink the logic of those sentences. Number 1, to lose weight. In English, it makes sense. You are losing weight. If you were 150 pounds, you are 145 pounds now. You have lost 5 pounds. In Russian, we don't say it like that. We simply say похудеть. Похудеть means to lose weight, which actually means to slim out. The stem худ means skinny. To get skinnier, okay? Похудеть. If you want to say, I lost 10 kilos, я похудел, or похудела if you're a lady, на 10 килограмм. I have slimmed by 10 kilos. That's the first phrase. Next phrase is telling your age. For example, I'm 20 years old. In English, I am 20 years old. So we're describing how old we are, right? In Russian, we say мне 20 лет. It is 20 years to me. So you first put мне, which means to me. And it doesn't depend on your gender. If you're a guy or a girl, мне is used. And then your age, and then the word for лет, which means years. Мне 20 лет. Мне 40 лет. I'm 40 years old, etc. Watch for this last word. It can change to год or года sometimes. But if you want to look into that a bit more, you can look it up when that changes. We're not going to include it in this video. So if you want to talk about your age, I am should not be in your vocabulary. Instead, use this мне plus your age. But if you really want to be understood by natives outside of these 10 phrases, join Be Fluent with the first link in the description. It's our website where we teach everybody how to get conversational in Russian, how to speak to Russian natives, how to understand them, how to sound more authentic and natural. Check it all out with the first link in the description. We have a 7-day free trial for anybody to try it out and see if you like it or not. The next phrase is I miss you. In English, it's a simple verb. I miss you. I miss this food, etc. In Russian, we say it a bit differently. Я скучаю по тебе. So the difference is that я скучаю is I miss. But we don't say you, we say on to you, kind of. По тебе. If you know anything about the Russian cases, this will help you, because тебе here is put in dative case. So, in essence, I miss is я скучаю по. Add this extra preposition. And then whatever you miss, or whoever you miss, put that thing in dative case, if you know cases. But if you don't, you can look up the phrase and you will not be surprised now where you see this по in that sentence. So, I miss you, я скучаю по тебе. This next one is a bit more general. I'll talk about it a bit more. I think he's wrong. Я думаю, что он не прав. The difference here is that in Russian we have to say this что, which means I think that he is wrong. We can never skip this что. In English, we don't have a word for that. So whenever we have this complex structure where I think plus some other action, we have to use this что to connect two sentences. English is super simplified when it comes to this. Russian is not simplified. Russian is still a long format. I think that he is wrong. The reason why I said this was more general is because it deals with all the sentences where there's multiple actions. I think plus another action. I feel that she is this, or I believe that something will happen. So multiple of those complex structures require что. Here's an example. I feel that she's gonna be late. Мне кажется, что она опоздает. We have to have this что that means that. I feel or think that she'll be late. Maybe I believe that the world will be okay. Я считаю, что все будет в порядке. I think that the world will be okay, etc. So we have to use что, and the way for you to think about it now and to change your logic a bit is if the sentence is a complex structure where there's multiple actors, multiple actions, use что to clarify what you mean. Next, when we talk about our feelings. In English, we simply say, I feel good, I feel cold, I feel bad. In Russian, it's different. Whenever it's an outer emotion, outer feeling, like I feel cold, that we don't control, that we don't have inside, we say мне холодно. Again, we have this мне. Мне means to me. It is cold to me. Why do we have this? Because we don't control being cold. We cannot change that from within. That's why a lot of emotions will happen to us. That's the logic of those kinds of sentences. Some more examples. Мне жарко. I'm hot. Or it is hot to me. Мне приятно. It's pleasant to me. Or it's my pleasure. Or you've done something that is pleasant to me. Again, I don't control it being pleasant, right? So it's more of my emotion that is outside of my control. So when it's an outer feeling, use мне plus whatever emotion you're experiencing. But then we have this other one that's kind of a feeling in English. I feel like doing something. I feel like eating. In Russian, we don't say я чувствую for that. Я чувствую is an actual feeling. But this is more translated as мне хочется есть. Мне хочется, again, as you can see, we have this мне up here. Мне хочется есть means I feel like eating. And again, why do we have мне all this time, right? Is because we don't really control the craving of eating. If I crave some foods or if I'm hungry, I don't control being hungry. It just happens to me. So мне хочется is that exact emotion. I feel like eating. It's not I want to eat because I don't control that want. Мне хочется is more of something that's happening to me. I feel an emotion. I feel the kind of pull towards some action. You can say also, мне хочется поговорить. I feel like talking. Something in me is telling me that I have to get this conversation out. I want to talk. I feel like talking. Okay? Of course, this can be used as well with a negative sentence. Мне не хочется говорить. I don't feel like talking. Again, it's not your active want. Okay, let me logically think about this. I have to talk because it will benefit me. Not that. It's more of an instinct that you have. I feel like talking. I don't feel like talking. Why? I don't know. Then it's to have breakfast. In English, you are having breakfast. In Russian, it's just завтракать. To breakfast. So we have three verbs. Завтракать, обедать, and ужинать. And you saw the translations for each of them. To have breakfast, to have lunch, to have dinner. Okay? So we say to breakfast, to lunch, to dinner. We have a verb. It's an active action of breakfasting, lunching, etc. So for those things, you don't say, I have a breakfast. You say to breakfast. I hope that that's kind of the simplest one of the whole list for today. The next phrase is, it takes time. In English, it's kind of like this a bit morbid idea. Something takes my time. It comes to me, grabs my time, and leaves. In Russian, we're a bit less of that extreme. We say, это занимает время. This occupies time. It's like you have time, right? And it simply is there for this period of time. It occupies this time period, and that's it. It doesn't take it from you. So это занимает время. Занимать means to occupy, to take up. All right? Next is to give someone a ride. To give in English has a number of meanings, like to take, in fact, with the previous one. And in Russian, to give a ride simply means подвести. Подвести means to carry somebody on a vehicle to a certain place. That's the meaning of that подвести. And of course, it's translated as to give a ride. I can say, можешь меня подвести? Can you give me a ride? And the last phrase for today is, I am good at something. In Russian, we don't say, I am good. We are talking about more about our skill. You can say, у меня хорошо получается. This happens good when I do it. That's kind of the meaning of it. So you don't really describe yourself. You're describing how things are turning out when you're doing them. So if you want to say something more specific, like, I'm good at playing the guitar. In Russian, I would say more naturally, У меня хорошо получается играть на гитаре. I play the guitar well. Or when I play the guitar, it turns out good. Or you would say, я хорошо играю на гитаре. Something more simple. I play the guitar well. Okay? You're not good at the guitar, you're playing it well. So in Russian, a lot of these things are oriented around the actions and the verbs of doing those actions, which is where you will have to change your logic a little bit. That is all. Be more sound more natural, be more confident in your conversations be fluent with this button right here. We have grammar, we have vocabulary, we have speaking exercises, listening exercises, and pronunciation work, all within our Russian step-by-step course to help all of you sound more like a native and communicate with natives and have fun as you're speaking and using your Russian. Check it out for free for 7 days with this button right here. Or keep on watching our YouTube videos with this next one. It's up to you.